Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Right now I'm playing Vampire. This game is all about vampires and rats. It occurred, it's not a real story, but it occurred in an era when there is Spanish flu everywhere and there are rats and vampire everywhere within the city of London. So basically this is our main guy as you can see on screen. I forgot his name because I started it yesterday. So basically we're going to play with him, and this is the doctor we met. We suspected him and I still suspect him that he has something to do with murders, but let's see what happens. So if you're tuning in, make sure you follow the page, share the stream and react to the stream, and if you're already a follower, make sure you react to the stream as well as share the stream as well. Thank you very much. Let's begin in just a moment. Let's go.
It's okay, Jonathan. I'll see you later.
My health is low, man. Can't I drink his blood? Her blood. Oh, they are washing this patient. I can't cross it. And can I go here?
It's locked, all right.
Yeah, I can see that. Perhaps he could help.
We'll
Hey,
have a
Doc.
word in my office later, Jonathan.
Man,
I'm
you
sorry,
need to
Jonathan.
unlock the
Mr.
door,
Hampton
man.
needs me right now.
Unlock the door, please.
We'll have a word in my office later,
Unlock the
Jonathan.
door, please. Unlock
It's
the
okay,
door,
Jonathan.
please.
I'll
Unlock
see you
the
later.
door, please. Unlock the
I'm
door,
sorry,
please.
Jonathan. Mr. Hampton needs me right now.
Okay, man. Whatever.
You can do better than that.
Clay? Who the hell is Clay? My health is low. How do I crouch?
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seeds of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Okay, but you shit.
I cannot enter.
Gosh, that hurts.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
I'll let you please. Let me be polite.
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
Alright, sorry. I am in pain here. Me guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
His blood quality is good. Can't I take it?
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Why can't I take him back? I don't want to drink his blood. I'll take him to the doctor. Hey doc, we got a patient here. Hey, doctor. Yo. I guess we have to kill him. Unfortunately, we have to kill him. Where are the shadows?
In the back, you bastard! Didn't have the guts to fight me. Fuck you. I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
Kill me? How? Where the hell is this house?
To taste a life, to embrace its most intimate secrets. Such a burden, such a divine sin.
It's locked.
I think this is the hospital.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague. Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean? You used to be a doctor. Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Not afraid
Are you
of that.
afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
Most people dead.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
I kind of agree with him.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Who the hell is Milton Hooks? Can't I mesmerize him?
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
I watch bodies.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Yeah. Similar to people
Why
these
close
days.
the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
There's no hint.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Yeah, because Jonathan killed her. Guess that's it. Let's trade.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
So I don't know what the hell is it. But it's for pain relieving. How much I... Opium. Drug. I don't have enough. Let me buy this multi. Okay. I think we're good. That's for volunteers.
It's locked, all right.
Hell do I have to go now? Can't I go here?
It's locked.
The hell, there's a person inside, can't he open? Small bag of junk.
It's locked, all right.
Oh, so this is hospital, that's why this district is healthy. Like they have healthy blood.
It's locked.
And the other district have flu pandemic.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Who the... Oh, fuck. Who the heck is he? Damn. How the hell he is in the healthy district? Maybe it's because healthy. The hell I have to go. It's the receptionist. The hell? Feels like I'm circling around. What's this? Stay at home. Similar to today. Similar to today. Stay at home. Fucking hell. And here we are.
Doctor,
Here we are.
where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I was there.
I apologize, nurse. I needed some time to myself. This has been the longest and strangest night of my life.
You delivered poor Mr. Hampton from a terrible fate. The means to that end should be of little concern, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I have a few questions.
I would like to ask a few questions first.
How is Mr.
And
Hampton?
Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Well, we just met.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Where is the room?
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Okay, I'll go. Who the hell is he?
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
Tell me your
What
stuff.
can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Positive
Tell me
character.
more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
Oh,
I'll
what's
go
her
even
name?
further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
I think I
Any
have to
opinion
talk
about
with
the
these
management?
guys.
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Okay.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
People
It's
on
more
board.
than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
Okay. There's no hint. Everything is done. Yes.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Another night with the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
Now who the hell is he?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks,
Oh,
the ambulance
ambulance
driver for
driver.
this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
I'll keep in mind.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything.
Straightforward.
And it's getting worse every day.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds
Why?
like things have been a bit rough
Why did you
recently.
attack us?
What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital. That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Don't worry. I won't die. Okay. Enter the backyard. I'll do that later.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
Okay, that's enough. There's no hint yet.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
I don't have money for it. Can't buy anything.
This is no time for self.
I'll come by later.
Thing our patients need.
Now who is she?
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan.
Okay.
Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
How are
What's the
things?
situation?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard.
Vampires.
An invisible enemy. Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
By being invisible?
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He
Yeah,
should be a
that guy
standard
also
for us
said
all
me,
here.
the first guy.
If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Okay, Dr.
Nurse
Tippett.
Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
He's hiding something, ladies and gentlemen. Tippett's crazy.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Okay.
Goodbye,
Yes, that
nurse.
is.
Call me if you need assistance.
Who's it? Oh,
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Goodbye,
it's the
Milton.
same thing.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
The pain.
Who's it?
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
The hell? It's the same thing. I
How
don't
is your
know.
stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss.
Can I ask you precisely why you...
It's the pain, sir.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to...
Okay. No hint, let's show.
Where were you stationed, sir?
I really don't want to talk about all...
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
The pain.
Who is it?
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why
did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Back.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers Trade Union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Dooth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Okay. Who's Tom
Do you
Watts?
know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Corruption?
Who should I avoid in this
What
part of
type,
town, then?
what type of corruption?
Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
And what
People
about
are
this
still in
fair?
despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Okay. I think that's it. What do you do?
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks, and I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
So he's a priest?
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Okay.
Have you made friends since you arrived? Not really, but I recognise Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Doctor...
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Big
I cannot enter.
The pain.
What?
It's here again.
Again pain? Who the hell is he?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed, yes, I've been informed about your arrival.
Does my arrival inconvenience you?
Let us just say that I don't particularly...
It's the same thing. I have no...
Since your
carelessness. We're here to save...
I don't intend to run any...
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego.
Oh, new hint.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Courting the press?
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital, instead of a burden.
If you have a problem with me, Doctor...
Dr. Swan...
I know we...
Oh,
there is no need...
That is...
Where did those options go?
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you
What the
insinuate,
hell?
Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
No. Knowledge is our name.
Knowledge has always been and will remain our main weapon. And it has always come at a price. And personal initiative.
It is not a question of initiative, it is a question of integrity.
And what
These
integrity
men and women
do
have
you
put their
have?
faith in us, Dr. Reed.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
I don't like this guy.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Who the hell is he and who the hell is... Oh, there's something there. I see that. Glass wire. Might be useful. What's this? Unfinished letter. I think it's of some patient. Or to the patient. Who is Robert Chadwick? Harvey Fiddick. Who is he?
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us
Dr.
of your
Strickland?
arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
What work?
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded.
Yeah.
Dr. Swansea
He
taught
said
me
the
that
right
science is about exploring
He
uncharted
said
territory.
the right thing, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Yeah, I agree with you, man.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose?
I'm not ashamed to admit you...
He inspired him.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster.
What about your
I based
experiment?
my technique...
I'd rather not talk...
As long as you're cautious and methodical.
You're not the first one to...
What can you...
Well, it is always...
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a tech...
Questions remain about our...
True.
Okay.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address.
Okay. I'll get it. Don't worry. Blood transfusion.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical
drink water.
techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him? Or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Mr. Fiddick.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality.
Yeah.
You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Okay, let's go. I think that's enough.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
You always knew the words to
All I
calm
can
me,
say,
children,
this
Ellen.
game is gonna be a long
As for
game.
me, what a blundering idiot.
There's a lot of investigation.
Good
You
evening,
need to
sir.
know
I'm Dr.
minor
Reed.
detail in
May I
order to
help?
survive.
I don't know if a
survive
third
in this
opinion
game.
is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
What happened to your... Wait. First, let me ask him.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Okay. What about
Tell
the
me about the
doctors
doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is, I disagreed about wood and nails, not flesh and bones.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
His quality is good. Should I take him? Drink his blood. I'll just leave.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you
I
later.
forgot one.
You always knew the words to come.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Personal question.
You seem worried about the safety of your family. And it's obviously the reason why your wound troubles you so much.
I cannot give up on my children now. They both need me living.
What about their mother, if I may ask?
She died in 1915 during one of the first Zeppelin raids. We never found her body.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
Okay.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
That's true. What about your wife?
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Ellen didn't bring them with her that night.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Oh man, no more questions. There are like multiple storylines here. Let me see. This is outside. I have to go up. Who is this?
I'm all right.
Good evening, madam.
Don't waste your time.
Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Good evening, sir.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses.
Are you that rich?
Really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start.
Oh, that
nurse,
guy.
Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious
It's that guy.
attitude.
What do you mean?
Who we
She
met
managed
in the
to
front.
secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Eva Hawkins.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
The hell is Eva?
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
No hints.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
I'll talk to those guys.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
No,
Reed.
I don't want to talk.
I suppose...
Okay.
Yes.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer.
How painful
How
is
painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
How painful.
So painful.
I'll let you get some rest, then.
I'm all right.
Wait,
Good evening.
I'm okay.
I need to ask him that question.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of.
What
She would
is
tie
he
herself to
capable
my
of?
bed if you asked her to leave.
Okay, we're good here.
Tell me about yourself, Miss.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Okay.
I have to go
Buzzer.
now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Is she the... Wait, let me see what hints I have. Just I have hint about somebody sitting. Pippa Hawkins. You see Pippa Hawkins?
What can I do for you, Doctor?
No, this is
Thank you,
Dorothy.
Nurse Crane.
Who the hell is Pippa Hawkins? The heck is she?
How can we be sure we're making a difference? As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Let me ask her if she
What
knows.
can I do for you, Doctor?
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Where's Pippa Hawkins? I think she's Pippa Hawkins.
Good evening, Nurse.
Good evening, Doctor.
Yeah,
I don't
she's
think
the
we've been
one.
introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
You must get a hold of yourself, Nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
Well, we have epidemic in 2020.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
Okay.
How is the Pembroke
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than you.
Why Milton?
Why
is
is
so-
Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Yeah, I know that. I had hint about her. What the hell?
Do you need medical help yourself, Nurse?
I'm fine, really. I just need to sleep.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
The hell? Why couldn't I use that thing? That dialogue over her. Let me ask him if I can.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor.
No, nothing unlocked. The hell? Your medical...
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Fair enough.
Goodbye, Milton.
And let me go up. What's up? Oh,
Good
man.
evening, miss. I'm Dr.
Who
Reed,
is she now?
the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital.
Your name has...
I beg your...
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well,
she
tonight
a
maybe I'm
vampire?
inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
She's a vampire? And why isn't she sucking blood?
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Describe the
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
New blood? New blood from whom?
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard.
I think this is the problem with her.
Are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh,
Yeah.
sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Okay, calm down.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are...
I'm not speaking.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Yeah, he's a vampire himself. New wrong target, new investigation.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Wait. I forgot
Good
to
evening,
ask one question. Who
are you really, Miss Howcroft?
Is that not enough for you?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Okay.
I'll leave you,
Nothing.
Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
What's this? Prevent disease. Same shit as today. This is same shit as today. That the influenza and all this shit. Okay, I have to go on second floor. What's up here? What's up here?
Not
This is-
now.
What's this? Hacksaw. P. Elwood. Oh, this is that army guy. This is the army guy. Yeah, flames are still burning under his skin. I'll ask him about this later. What's here? Nothing.
This
Oh,
must be
this
the
is-
place.
This is my
It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
What's this? Glass vial.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Where is water? What's up here? Refill all. Okay, crafting. Iron. Not upgrade. I don't have parts. Can I upgrade this? No. What about this? This is level 2.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
Can't upgrade this. What about this? Man, there are so many things to do in this game. Nothing. Nothing unlocked. This is unlocked. Okay, this one. This too. How many points I have? Defense skill. What the hell? I guess no points. Okay. This was one tough. It. Now what? I have investigated him too. Brickland, nope.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Wait, I will come back.
Come on, I don't have all night.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
There is nothing here.
Sorry, there's nothing here.
Some of the patients won't last the night without them. Honestly, sir, I'm beside myself.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
What's up there? What's this?
It's locked, all right.
I have checked this area already. And go to the... What the hell? You called me. Enter the back garden. The heck is the back garden? Yes, here. All bottle.
It's locked, all right.
How do I go to garden? This is the garden. There's the vampire. Two actually. Where's the weapon? Oh shit. Oh shit, they're eating my blood. Drinking actually. Here. Now you happy? Fucking hell. My health is low. Where the hell is his wallet? Here. Milton's wallet.
So, Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well.
Enter the old morgue. What the hell is morgue now? this the morgue? Hell is this place? There's nobody here. I think we are back in the hospital.
The pain. It's here again.
Good evening, Mr.
Evening.
How close are you to Miss Hallcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
You let her bite
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You
He's
do
mentally
realize she's
disturbed.
mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Real cause. Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Why did
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
surgery could have
Reconstructive
helped
surgery has been very successful for some soldiers.
I don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of my life. I'd rather stay here and just be forgotten.
you. And failed?
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen. Dead drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
Okay. Let me drink his blood. This is a safe place. No. This.
So this is how it ends. Farewell, my life, you betrayed me, good.
The district will soon suffer consequence. Oh man, I fucked up the district. Okay. We are near the morgue. Here we are. Here we are. We did. I think we did two. Yeah, did two mission. Yes. Where to find some I don't know what to say. Paris start rate. Wind and sodium hypochlorite. Damn, these medical terms are fucked up. It's something
I cannot enter.
Find a key. Morgue basement. Where is the morgue basement key? I think here. No, these are ceilings.
Balls of Mars. Fortifiers. As
I've got
popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
What the hell?
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
What is that?
It's locked. This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Oh no, we have to go to the basement. Most likely. Okay, let me check what's up. Nothing here. Rich blood sample. Okay, we're good here. Everything good here. Killings. Let's go down. Let's see what's up. There's something down as well. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see what's up there. 2 empires.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Oh, this piece of shit. Damn it. Got him. There was one more guy. Where the fuck is he? It's one more guy still here, somewhere. I don't know where he was. Here. Ooh, this. Ooh, that. Just died like this. Oh shit. It's some kind of boss. Seven level boss. I'm going to die. Oh shit. His skills are great. I'm about to die. Come on. I'm not strong enough right now. That's true. Can't I change this weapon? This guy is gonna be tough. Seconds. Shit, man. How do I deal with this guy? Can't go up. To beat his shadow and him also. Fuck, man. This guy is difficult to beat. I don't have stamina. It is generating me, but can we do it? When we beat his ass. Fuck, man. Almost there. Almost there. We can do it. We can do it, Jonathan. It. Alice is strong with this John Doe guy. Okay. Nice.
These scowls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
Nice. Finally, we beat him.
Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage.
What's up here? Is this guy alive or dead? He's dead. Why he died? Natural death. Due to virus.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better...
Okay, let me open the chest.
The chest was originally open to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened.
Okay.
Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman.
Okay.
A puncture over the left lung. Possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful.
So what's the conclusion?
Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then, he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error.
So it's Dr. Tippett. I'll talk to him.
It's locked, all right.
I'll talk to Dr. Tippett. Let me go there. The hell? There's one more guy. But get the hell out of here. Shit. Take this asshole. Fuck. My guy started. One down, one to go. I have to make my guy stronger. This is not enough. Okay. But I missed something. have to get the hell out of here. Where's the exit? Finally. Okay. Let's go back. Fuck. Another zombie. Fuck it, I'm not fighting. Need to get the hell out of here. I gotta meet with that doctor. Where is he? Here he is.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland. And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
No, this isn't the doctor.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Maybe it was this guy. He was the guy.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick.
I'm okay.
I have to go now, sir. But don't...
Let me see which doctor was it. I have a hint about someone. Some doctor. You know who. Dr. Tippett. He's the one I need to find.
Hesitate to contact me if you need
He's
any
outside. Tippett says outside.
That's Pembroke nowadays.
Fuck is he?
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
I found your wallet.
I have some good news, Milton.
What?
We have
The
done this
epidemic's
one.
over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Milton.
Okay. Now where the hell is Tippett?
Perhaps I should
Good
have
evening,
considered the
Dr.
offer from that category.
Yeah, he's
Dr.
the one.
Reed, any good news to share?
Yeah, I need to ask about question.
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
Nature of mistake.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Who was he?
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks, maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed a body.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Let's go up. Craft a treatment for fatigue. No, not here. I think at my room I have to do it. How to craft. Did craft it. Now what?
It's locked, all right.
I don't know, I crafted it. Now what? Is here. I have to craft. The hell?
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Maybe this should help. No points. Forward. My health level has gone down. This district is stable. The hell, I created it. Now what? I have everything. Treatment for headache. And why can't I craft? Glass oil, sodium hydrochlorine solution. Do I have to go back now?
The flower's dying. It needs water.
The hell? Oh, I used it all on this shit, man. That's why this shit is happening. I need to find more chlorine. To go down again.
Get up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation.
Was it this place? No, this is in the morgue. Was in sort of a garden. This is the morgue. Let me check the map. And merchant. This is the hospital again.
This isn't even my neighborhood.
Well, I'm lost here.
It's locked.
This is the hideout. Maybe she has some.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett in our situation?
You took a great risk.
Perhaps you did it with the best intentions, Nurse Brannigan, but you took a great risk. Must I remind you that a man died?
You mean you've never made a mistake? Never covered your tracks? Come on, Doctor. I wasn't born yesterday.
I've decided that I won't reveal Dr. Tippett's, shall we say, misdemeanor.
I'm so glad you share my point of view. Dr. Tippett is a brilliant practitioner. We most definitely need his know-how.
I hope you're right. This is a huge risk we're taking.
Dr. Tippett must regain his confidence. Please, keep this decision between you and me.
And failed.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Why the hell hand failed? There's some guy here.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doc.
I'd like to see your good.
Wise choice, Doctor.
Grease, I don't need grease. There's one here too. Let me check him out.
And I thought last summer's epidemic was difficult.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
I think I need this. Actually, I'll buy more. Let him go up now. Hell is the lobby now. Son. I have to go to Miss Crane. Let's find where she is. The hell is Swansea doing?
Now.
Is he smoking dope? Not now, not now. 2 days have passed and not now. He's Dr. Crane, right?
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes? Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Nice.
Hey,
Nice.
I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Where the hell is Dorothy Crane? He was going around here.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor.
Yeah,
Did you find anything of
finally.
value?
Yes, Nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished,
Okay.
you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
A rat in the hospital. Now the chapter 2 has started. Holy shit. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's my break time. I'll be back after my break for Rhyme. Video game name Rhyme. So thank you for tuning in. If you like the content, make sure you hit that follow button. I'll see you guys later. Maybe about, I think, 8:30 PM or 9 PM Canadian time. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Good evening, sir. I will not let you down, my boy.